Hey, what's up everybody? Jesse here with Southern Reels. I am so stoked today. I'm just freaking stoked about this. I just had to share this with you. But I'm down here on Highway 17 just south of Hertford, North Carolina at Stroud and Submarine, as you see behind me right here. It's Key West dealer. They sell bay boats. This is where I actually purchased my boat at. They also sell Carolina Skiff. As you see, they have quite a few stock and Crest pontoon boats. Story behind this is recently they picked up selling kayaks, something I told them they should do a while back, and they were approached by Old Town and they picked those up, and they also sell Ocean kayak as well, and of course some lines of paddle boards and stuff too. So that's pretty awesome that they've expanded. This is a family run business by Joe Stroud and his wife Renee. I actually went to high school with Joe, so I know him very well. Local people, they grew up here just like I did. If you want a good deal on a boat, especially a Key West or a Carolina Skiff, you're not going to beat their prices, man. I'll tell you, I bought my boat from them. They were thousands cheaper than any other dealer that I priced it at. But long story short, the reason I'm here today is when they started carrying kayaks, they approached me about trying Old Town. And I told them, yeah, I'm definitely down for it. So they're gifting me a kayak, which is awesome. Evidently, the videos that I did about buying my boat here has really helped boost their business some. So they're kind of doing this as a thanks, and also help promote the fact that they're selling kayaks now. So I'm getting ready to walk in here, introduce you guys to Joe. And Joe actually is the owner and the mechanic. They're working on the kayak that I've picked, and we're just going to rock and roll. I'm stoked about this, so let's do this. Ooh. All right, y'all, as you see, they have a lot of kayaks with stock right now. Actually, they just got a shipment today, I believe. How many kayaks y'all get today?
We got, 6 more in today.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, if you're looking for an Old Town kayak, come see them. They definitely have plenty in stock. Now, this over here, this is Joe. This is the owner of the business. Started with his dad, and him and his wife running currently. This is Joe, the mechanic down here. Just met him recently.
How we doing?
Pretty good. They are currently setting up this PDL 120.
Getting you rigged up.
This is the one that I chose out of all. They actually gave me an option of anyone to pick, which is really awesome. I have to admit, the Autopilot 120 was very tempting. Very tempting. It is an awesome piece of machinery they've put together here to have that Minn Kota technology in it. But I kind of wanted to stick with something a little simpler. So that's why I ended up going with the PDL 120 in the Ember color. So they're hooking that up right now. So anyway, I want to hang out with them, get this thing loaded up, and get home and take a really good, thorough look at it. All right, folks, they got me all loaded up here. They went over everything with me on the kayak itself. I got it strapped in the back of the van, as you see. Man, once again, Joe, Renee, I can't thank you enough. This is awesome. I'm excited to actually get in another kayak other than a Hobie, because that's all I've ever actually been in is Hobies. So this is going to be interesting to finally get to try a prop drive. I've never been in a prop drive kayak. So I'm going to hit the road and probably stop at the creek and check this thing out real quick. Let's do it. All right, folks, here we are, my local boat ramp. And I'm getting ready to pull this thing out for the first time. Try this. It should be interesting because I'm used to landing gear on all my kayaks. Obviously, I don't have landing gear on this since I just picked it up. I want to determine pretty quickly, though, whether or not it's getting it, I'm sure. That's not too heavy. They set a lot of the weights in the actual drive. Tell you what, let's try it without the drive. A little better. I mean, it's manageable. Try not to scratch it up when I just got it. Alrighty, the pedal drive and the paddle, which oddly enough, these don't come with paddles, which I think is critical in kayak. Alright, y'all, I think I'm good. I'll just very easily slide this in the water. Let's see what this thing does. Alright. Oh, first time sitting there. It's a wide seat. Paddle's good. Shoot, paddle's just as good as my Outback. All right, let's drop this thing in. I just gotta snatch it. Yep, there we go. clipped in. I guess that's locked. There we go. Oh, gotta put my rudder down. It's loose, yep. And that's taking a little getting used to. I need to scoot my seat forward a little bit. Try one more notch forward there. That's a little better. See how the steering is. Yeah, it steers good. She'll cut right tight. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, got a good turning radius to it. Turns better than my stock Hobie did, to be honest with you. Nice little storage box here. Keep stuff in. All right, let's get this thing in the gear and see what we can do. The pedaling effort isn't bad at all. I mean, I'm just barely pedaling, and I'm probably moving 1.5 miles, 2 miles an hour right now. I bet it would be kind of fast, actually. You could probably get 5-6 miles an hour out of this pretty easy. The seat's comfortable. It's definitely nice and wide compared to my Outback. This is a wide seat, and I like it because it's got a thicker bottom area down here. Definitely will invest in some landing gear for it to help with the ease of the launch. It took me a second to get used to the cycling action of the pedal. It's been 10 minutes and I'm used to it now. Curious to see how that affects me while I'm fishing, being a cycling action going up versus just going straight back and forth like a Hobie. All right, guys, so I've been cruising for a while, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed. I guess there's no reason I shouldn't be, because, you know, Old Town is pretty much the main competition I feel for Hobie right now, as far as their offerings and stuff. And this thing is comfortable. I have to say the pedal drive on this has a little bit of a grainy feel to it, even though it has gotten less since I've been out here just this little bit of time. So maybe it's just kind of breaking in. But it just feels a little bit of like graininess kind of when I'm pedaling. I was expecting it to be just kind of like buttery smooth, which to be honest, the Hobie is, their drive is like buttery smooth. You don't feel anything when it's working properly. This one has just a little bit of a grain feel to it. So it's not a deal breaker by any means. As far as the functionality of the prop, it works great. The instant reverse is nice, or being able to hit the brakes. Not having to reach down and pull a cable is very nice. To shift gears, I mean, which on the Hobie you have to. It's very stable. I mean, honestly, I can stand right up and do a little dance in this thing, man. You know, it's stable. It's more stable than my Outback, definitely. So I like that. Plenty of cargo room. The seat is honestly like sitting in a lounge chair out here. It's comfortable. It's more elevated than my Hobie. It feels like, even with the seat mod that I did, it's similar kind of in height, but it's just so wide, you know, especially with me, because I'm kind of a smaller person anyway, so I could definitely just cruise the way it is, no problem, or even throw a cushion on it and make it even better. All right, now as far as inside the kayak where you're fishing at, there's plenty of room. It actually feels wider at this point than my Outback does. The adjustability of the seat, the way it slides forward and backwards versus adjusting the pedals, it's a little bit different. I'm used to the pedals adjusting and the seat staying kind of centered. So like right now, I'm kind of far forward because I'm short. You know, I'm only 5'10". And honestly, if you pull these pins, let me show you. If you pull these pins here and literally go all the way back with the seat like this, to me, that just feels a little more balanced and better and natural in the kayak. But I can't reach the pedals. And look at all this room it gives you in here to work with. I mean, that's a lot of room to be fishing with, but I can't reach the pedals like that. So I got to go all the way up to like hole number 3 for the pedaling action to be natural to me. It's definitely a little different there. I think maybe adding a cushion behind my back to be able to slide the seat back some would help give me a little more room in here, and maybe taking a little bit of my weight off of the front of the kayak maybe. Of course, when you got the gear area loaded down, that's not an issue really at all. So anyway, first impression's good. I like it. I'm gonna get back up here to the ramp and get this thing loaded up. Oh man, that was fun. Well, I made it back home, y'all, and I've got it here in my shop, just setting up on a little work stand right now, kind of checking it out. Went ahead and opened up all the hatches and everything just to kind of get a good look down inside, see what's going on in there. And it's got plenty of storage in it, that's for sure. This front area is huge, especially if you use like a dry bag. You could fit all kinds of stuff down in there. Kind of have to be careful for it not to get lost back up in there, but that's something you could easily remedy. just looking the thing over, man, it's very solidly built. There's definitely nothing wrong with this kayak. Well thought out, put together. I think if anything, I might switch these around to where these are back here in the back, maybe, versus up under the seat, because you kind of got to reach under the seat to do them. That's a little bit annoying. I'm not a big fan of this adjustment screw right here, the way it rubs on this. That's pretty much it as far as the hull. The seat was very comfortable. It was like sitting in a lounge chair, honestly. I think the seat's more comfortable than my Outback for sure. And the drive, it seemed to work just fine. Like I said, it was that little bit grainy feeling. Maybe I'm just not used to this design, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll ask some friends about that. The only thing I really noticed about the drive is these little plastic plugs just fell right out. Both of them did, actually, so I'm gonna end up probably gluing those in to where they'll stay. So keep an eye out for that. But all in all, it seems like a very solidly built kayak. I think the plastic, like I said, is actually a little bit thicker than what Hobie uses. It's well balanced. I'm excited to get out and do some fishing with it. So anyway, I'm gonna finish messing around with it tonight and get it set up and probably take it out and do some fishing tomorrow. So wish me luck.